So, how's it going? 13 ABC's Bill Hormann wanted to know. Bill?
Diane, we're focusing on the alley cleanup. 1 year ago, the first alleys were cleared out, but 1 year later, the city finding some success. Toledo has 120 miles of alleys. Many are cluttered with illegally dumped trash. For the last year, crews have targeted these trashed alleys. It's an effort we've been following since last April. And it is a mess. We found bottles and carpet, mattresses and speakers, tires and shoes littering this back alley at Grand Avenue and Smead. 1 year later, that mess has been cleaned up and a vacant house and garage torn down.
Usually vacant houses are an attraction to illegal dumping.
And there are a lot of vacant houses along this alley and all across our city. It's a battle the city is determined to win, one alley at a time.
We want to keep an eye on them, so we plan on revisiting the alleys we identified last year and working to make sure that they stay clean.
Encouraging improvement?
Yes, but slow improvement.
You may remember Michelle from our story last year. She complained about this alley and the city responded, and now she sees potential.
I wouldn't mind doing a community garden, over here.
And a chance to make her small part of the city better.
I guess we have to take one block at a time if we're gonna, improve the inner city.
But as we've seen, success can be measured by how many alleys you clean, how long they stay that way. Now remember, you are responsible for the area that backs up to the alley. You can be fined $75 if you don't clean it up. The city's doing its part, needs your help as well.
13 ABC's Bill Hormann traveled down that bumpy alley today.
We'll show you just how bumpy this back alley is in just a second. But first, a quick demonstration. My camera is sitting at eye level, but if I take just a few steps into the pothole, you can see how far I sink. But if you're driving this alley, it's a bumpy ride.
It's got big ruts in it. Everybody scrapes the bottoms of their cars.
You might as well be on a roller coaster bumpy ride.
The holes just get deeper and deeper, and it doesn't get any better.
Honestly, the ride is worse in person than it looks on video, and neighbors have been complaining about this for years.
People try to throw rocks in it and stuff and concrete in it, but that doesn't do anything. All that does is ruin your wheels and your tires and stuff, and it doesn't do any good.
This is an everyday damage thing we got to go through.
Horrible. It's just horrible. I can't believe that they've let it go for 4 years like this and done nothing.
Well, by coincidence, city crews cleaned this alley just last week, and they noticed this minefield.
This is actually passable.
But the man who runs the department responsible for fixing streets says he'll get a crew on this right away, even use a new method to grind up what's left.
As long as you grind it up properly and keep a consistent base and pack it in, it should help the roadway a lot.
So eventually this roller coaster of a ride, this hydraulics lift and dump, will end. So it looks like this is a good news happy ending. The crews will come out here, they'll fix this back alley, probably take them another month to do that. But then again, the neighbors who live along this back alley are willing to wait that extra month because according to them, they've waited 4 years.
We're keeping an eye on our neighborhoods and the city's effort to clean them up. Yesterday, it was alley cleanup. New at 6, 13 ABC's Bill Hormann looks at mowing vacant lots and the trouble that sometimes causes. Bill.
Diane, one problem causes another. People dump trash on vacant lots, and when city crews go out to those lots, that trash causes lots of trouble. Because of our mild winter, city crews are out early this year cutting the grass. 10 crews cutting a total of 100 lots every day, many trashed like this.
They dump, they don't care.
Michelle and her partner have to stop what they're doing and pick up the trash. It can cost them as much as an hour's worth of time. It can cost taxpayers money and equipment repairs.
Last year we had so many blades, lawnmowers that got so messed up, had to go into the shop, come back out, refinish it.
Now I see another piece is missing on the one side too.
Those broken machines come into Ron's garage for repair.
It's welded and it's bolted.
A flat tire came in today. Could be expensive to buy a new tire because this patch doesn't appear to be working.
Still leaking.
But it's mostly blades that come back.
Right there is good. Last year we went through 50 or 60 blades.
That gets expensive, and that's a lot of work.
A lot of work, and a lot of belts.
We saw one crew stop work because of a metal pipe sticking out of the ground. That could have caused serious damage or even injury. But the city is not surrendering.
Usually our cycle is once a month.
Lots could get cut every 30 days this year. That's a lot of work when there are 2,000 lots growing like weeds.
You know, as we start continuing down this road of demolishing some of the worst housing stock, we continue to add more to that inventory.
Which means more grass cutting on more lots, but hopefully with less debris. Trashing a lot can cost a lot, thousands of dollars in repairs, and those are tax dollars. That's your money, simply because people illegally toss trash in our city.
13 ABC's Bill Hormann says it might be the latest and greatest.
It might be. It's called the pothole killer, and we don't have it yet, but it could make the old way of filling potholes obsolete. This is the old way to fill a pothole. One guy blowing the debris out of the hole, a second guy filling it, a third guy tamping it down, 3 guys patching one pothole. Along Walbridge Street.
I mean, those potholes over here, you could make a fish pond out of them and go skinny deep in.
They're happy to get those holes filled.
It got to a point I didn't feel like going or driving down the street.
But soon our 3-man team will be replaced by this. A 1-man truck that will blow out, spray inject, and then stone seal the potholes. It's called the Pothole Killer, the latest in pothole patching.
It's a matter of trial and error for us right now.
The commissioner at Street Bridges and Harbor says he wants to give this pothole killer a tryout. It's a 1-man operation that would actually free up more workers to patch more holes faster and cheaper.
And hopefully we can make a difference on a lot of our streets that are in dire need of some repairs.
Until council approves spending about $100,000 to lease the pothole killing machine for a few months, this is the way most streets will get fixed.
It's only going to last a while. I like to see it in about a month.
Not a vote of confidence, but then Mary has never seen the Pothole Killer, which could revolutionize how we fix our streets. Now, to buy one of these machines could cost us $230,000, but they will not replace those mill and fill machines. However, the Pothole Killer is supposed to have a 90% success rate, which is way better than what we're doing right now.
Well, summer's over, and that means pothole season is complete, and all that's left now is looking at the work and assessing what was accomplished, which is what 13 ABC's Bill Hormann did today.
These city trucks really got a workout. I know it was frustrating all summer long. Either your roads hadn't been fixed when you wanted them to be, or they were being fixed when you didn't want them to be. The crews were busy, and here's what they accomplished. Typically, city road crews will get to about 9 or 10 miles of residential streets a year. But this year, they repaired 12.4 miles and spread more than 9,000 tons of asphalt on our roads. The man who runs Streets, Bridges, and Harbor was impressed with his team.
It's been a great season. The product that they've put out has been tremendously better than it has in the past.
Of course, the warm, dry weather helped out, and there were few equipment failures. And crews worked on 52 streets, then added another 5. And that meant filling potholes, more than 54,000 potholes by hand, and another 5,000 through that pothole killer we told you about in the spring.
We're in the process of reviewing how those patches have been made, how they're going to hold up. Has it really been effective for Toledo?
And all this work was done with less money. Only $500,000 was allocated by the city this year, so the department ended up dipping into another fund to pay for the rest of the work. And asphalt prices, they were lower because oil prices dropped. But now the leaves are starting to drop, and that means leaf pickup by the end of the month. And then the snow will start to drop, and that means plowing season's coming. But for now, it's nice to look back at what road crews consider a very productive year. So the good news in all of this is Crews got done more roads this year than they have in years past. Of course, the bad news is there's more roads to do next year.